If you study English from a textbook, you may know thousands of words and still feel lost in a real American conversation. People speak quickly, shorten common expressions, and use small phrases that do not always mean exactly what the words seem to say. Today, you will learn 50 American English phrases you can expect to hear every day. You will hear what each phrase means, how Americans use it, and a natural example you can copy right away. Do not try to memorize all 50 at once. Listen for the phrases that match your life, say them out loud, and write one sentence about your own work, family, or daily routine. By the end, you should recognize the rhythm of everyday American English and feel more ready to join the conversation. One more challenge. When you hear a phrase you already know, do not skip it. Ask yourself whether you use it naturally, because understanding a phrase and using it comfortably are two different skills. Let's start with the phrases Americans use to greet people and keep conversations moving. Phrase 1 is, "How's it going?" This is one of the most common greetings in American English, and it usually means, "How are you?" or "How is life?" It does not always require a long answer, so you can say, "Pretty good." "How about you?" Phrase 2 is, "What's up?" This can mean, "What is happening?" or simply, "How are you?" With a friend, you might answer, "Not much, I'm just getting ready for work." In a more formal workplace, "How's it going?" is usually the safer choice. Phrase 3 is, "I'm good." Americans often use this to mean, "I'm fine, no thank you," or "I have everything I need." If someone offers you more coffee, you can say, "I'm good, thanks," and that sounds friendly, not rude. Phrase 4 is, "I'm doing good." In careful grammar lessons, you may hear that "I'm doing well" is more formal. In everyday American conversation, many people say, "I'm doing good," especially when they mean life is going well. You can use either one, but "I'm doing good" is very common. Phrase 5 is, "Not too bad." This means, "I'm okay," or "Things are fairly good." It can sound modest and relaxed. If a coworker asks how your morning is going, try, "Not too bad, I finished the report early." Here is a quick listening test. If someone says, "What's up?" they are not necessarily asking for a full report about every problem in your life. Short answers like, "Not much," "I'm good," and "pretty good" are natural, so you can keep the conversation comfortable. Phrase 6 is, "No worries." It means, "That is okay. Do not worry about it," or "You are welcome." If a friend apologizes for being 5 minutes late, you can say, "No worries. I just got here." This phrase feels warm and casual. Phrase 7 is, "Sounds good." Use it when you agree with a plan or idea. If your manager says, "Let's meet at 2," you can reply, "Sounds good." It is shorter and more natural than repeating the entire plan every time. Phrase 8 is, "That works for me." This means that a time, place, or plan is convenient for you. Someone may ask, "Can we move the meeting to Thursday?" You can answer, "That works for me," even if Thursday was not your first choice. Phrase 9 is, "I'm down." In casual American English, this means, "I want to do that," or "I agree to join." If your friend asks, "Want to grab tacos after work?" you can say, "I'm down." Avoid using it in a very formal email, but it is normal with friends and close coworkers. Phrase 10 is, "I'm up for it." This also means, "I want to do it," but it can sound a little more neutral than, "I'm down." If someone suggests a weekend hike, say, "I'm up for it." If you are tired, you can say, "I'm not really up for it tonight." Notice the difference between "I'm down" and "I'm up for it." Both show interest, but "I'm down" is more casual, while "I'm up for it" works in a wider range of conversations. These small choices help you sound natural without trying to sound impressive. Phrase 11 is, "Give me a sec." A sec is short for second, and this phrase means, "Wait a very short time." If you are looking for your keys, you can say, "Give me a sec. They were here a minute ago." Phrase 12 is, "Hang on a second." This also means, wait. It is useful on the phone or when you need to stop someone for a moment. You might say, "Hang on a second. I need to write that down." Phrase 13 is, "I'll be right back." Use this when you are leaving briefly and plan to return soon. At work, you might say, "I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a printout." The phrase does not promise an exact number of minutes, but it suggests a short absence. Phrase 14 is, "I'm on my way." This means you have started traveling to a place, or you are leaving now. If your friend texts, "Are you close?" you can answer, "I'm on my way." It can also be used at work when you are walking to a meeting. Phrase 15 is, "I'm running late." This means you will arrive later than planned. You can say, "I'm running late because of traffic," or simply, "I'm running a few minutes late." The word running does not mean you are physically running. It describes a delay. Phrase 16 is, "Take your time." This tells someone they do not need to hurry. If a customer is filling out a form, you can say, "Take your time." It can sound kind, but your tone matters. A sharp tone can make it sound impatient, so say it calmly. Phrase 17 is, "No rush." This has a similar meaning, but it is often used when asking for something. You could write, "Could you send me the file today? No rush." That means the request is not urgent, although the listener may still understand that today is your preferred deadline. Phrase 18 is, "I get it." This means, "I understand." It can show that you understand an idea, a feeling, or a problem. If your friend explains why they changed plans, you can say, "I get it. You had a lot going on." Phrase 19 is, "That makes sense." Use this when someone gives an explanation that seems logical. In a meeting, a coworker might explain a new process, and you can say, "That makes sense." It is a useful way to show attention without interrupting with a long comment. Phrase 20 is, "I hear you." This does not always mean that you agree. It means you understand what someone is saying and recognize their point or feeling. If a coworker says, "This deadline feels too tight," you can reply, "I hear you. Let's look at what we can move." The next group helps you respond when you are uncertain. These phrases are especially useful because natural conversation does not require an instant, perfect answer every time. In fact, a short pause phrase can make you sound more confident. Phrase 21 is, "I'm not sure." Use it when you do not know the answer or have not made a decision. You can soften it by adding, "Let me check." For example, "I'm not sure what time the store closes. Let me check." Phrase 22 is, "Let me check." This means you will look for information before answering. At work, say, "Let me check the schedule and get back to you." It sounds more helpful than guessing, and it gives you time to find the right information. Phrase 23 is, "I'll keep you posted." This means, "I'll give you updates." If a project is changing, you might say, "I'll keep you posted as soon as I hear back from the client." It is common in offices, messages, and conversations about plans. Phrase 24 is, "We'll see." This means the answer is not decided yet. Sometimes it is neutral, as in, "We'll see what the weather is like." Sometimes it politely avoids making a promise, so listen to the speaker's tone and the situation. Phrase 25 is, "It depends." Use this when the answer changes according to the situation. Someone may ask, "Is the job difficult?" You can say, "It depends. The first week is busy, but it gets easier after that." Phrase 26 is, "I'll figure it out." This means you will find a solution, even if you do not know how yet. It can sound confident and independent. If a new software program seems confusing, say, "I haven't used it before, but I'll figure it out." Phrase 27 is, "I'm good with that." This means you agree with a suggestion or accept a choice. If your team decides to start at 9, say, "I'm good with that." It is a little more personal than, "That works for me," but both are natural. Phrase 28 is, "Whatever works." This means you are flexible and the other person can choose the option that is easiest. You can say, "We can call today or tomorrow, whatever works." Use a friendly tone, because a flat tone can make it sound like you do not care. Here is a useful confidence habit. When you do not know an answer, avoid stopping with only, "I don't know." Try, "I'm not sure," "Let me check," or "I'll figure it out." These phrases are honest, helpful, and much closer to the way people manage real conversations. Phrase 29 is, "Do you mind if?" This is a polite way to ask for permission. You can say, "Do you mind if I open the window?" If the answer is no, that usually means the person does not mind. so the window can be opened. Phrase 30 is, could you give me a hand? This means, could you help me? It does not mean someone should give you an actual hand. At work, you might ask, could you give me a hand with these boxes? Phrase 31 is, can you walk me through it? Use this when you want someone to explain a process step by step. For example, I understand the goal, but can you walk me through it? This phrase is excellent for meetings, training, and new tasks. Phrase 32 is, I missed that. This means you did not hear or understand the last part of what someone said. It sounds natural and polite. You can follow it with, could you say it again? Phrase 33 is, could you say that again? This is more natural in many situations than repeating, can you repeat? Your voice should rise slightly at the end because it is a polite question. You can also say, sorry, I missed that, before it. Phrase 34 is, what do you mean? This asks someone to explain an idea more clearly. With the wrong tone, it can sound angry, so soften it with, could you explain what you mean? Or, what do you mean by that? Phrase 35 is, I'm just kidding. Americans say this after making a joke or teasing someone. If you say, you owe me $1 million, and then smile, you can add, I'm just kidding. It tells the listener not to take the statement seriously. Phrase 36 is, no big deal. This means something is not a serious problem. If someone thanks you for sending a file, you can say, no big deal. If someone apologizes for a small mistake, you can say, no big deal, we can fix it. Phrase 37 is, my bad. This is a casual way to admit a small mistake. If you send the wrong attachment, you can say, my bad. I sent the old version. Do not use it in a very formal apology, but it is common in everyday speech. Phrase 38 is, that's on me. This means you accept responsibility for a mistake or problem. It is stronger than, my bad, but still conversational. You might say, the meeting time was wrong. That's on me. Phrase 39 is, I appreciate it. This means, thank you. I value your help. It can sound warmer and more sincere than a quick, thanks. If a coworker stays late to help you, say, I really appreciate it. Phrase 40 is, I owe you one. This means you plan to return a favor someday. If someone gives you a ride, you can say, thanks, I owe you one. It does not usually mean you owe money. It means you are grateful and want to help them later. These phrases show an important part of American conversation. People often keep the emotional temperature light. They admit mistakes quickly, accept small favors, and move forward instead of making every moment sound serious. That relaxed style can make your English feel much more natural. Phrase 41 is, I'll pass. This means you do not want something or do not want to join an activity. If someone offers you dessert, you can say, I'll pass, thanks. It is polite when your voice is friendly, and it avoids a long explanation. Phrase 42 is, maybe next time. This is a soft way to decline an invitation. If you cannot join dinner, you can say, I can't make it tonight, but maybe next time. It keeps the relationship positive and avoids sounding too direct. Phrase 43 is, I'm all set. This can mean, I'm ready, I have everything I need, or, no thank you. At a coffee shop, the cashier may ask if you want anything else, and you can say, I'm all set. Before leaving for work, you can also say, I'm all set to go. Phrase 44 is, here you go. Say this when you give something to someone. You can hand a customer a receipt and say, here you go, or give a friend their keys. It is a small phrase, but Americans use it constantly. Phrase 45 is, there you go. This phrase can mean, that is it, you did it, or here is the result. If someone finally opens a difficult jar, you might say, there you go. If you are helping someone complete a form, it can mean they have reached the right answer. Phrase 46 is, I'm heading out. This means you are leaving. At the end of the workday, tell a coworker, I'm heading out. See you tomorrow. It sounds casual and natural, and it is more conversational than saying, I am departing. Phrase 47 is, have a good one. This is a friendly goodbye that usually means have a good day or have a good evening. You may hear it from a cashier, coworker, or stranger. You can answer, you too, or thanks you too. Phrase 48 is catch you later. This means see you later. It is casual, so use it with friends, classmates, and coworkers you know well. You do not need to be literally catching anything. It is simply a relaxed goodbye. Phrase 49 is let's call it a day. This means it is time to stop working for now. A team leader might say it after finishing a long meeting, or you might say it to yourself after completing your main tasks. It usually suggests that the work can continue another day. Phrase 50 is, I'll catch up with you later. This means you will talk to someone again later, either in person or by message. At work, you might say, I need to finish this email, but I'll catch up with you later. It is friendly, flexible, and useful in many situations. Now you have 50 phrases that appear in greetings, plans, work conversations, requests, mistakes, favors, and goodbyes. The goal is not to sound like you memorized a list. The goal is to notice these phrases when Americans use them and slowly make them part of your own speaking. Try this 3-step practice. First, choose 5 phrases that match your daily life. Second, say each phrase 3 times with a different feeling: friendly, professional, and casual. Third, create one true sentence for each phrase, such as, I'm running late for my appointment, or I'll keep you posted about the interview. You can also practice with a listening challenge. Play this lesson again and pause before each example. Try to predict the phrase that fits the situation, then say your answer out loud before listening. That small pause turns passive listening into active speaking practice. If you hear a phrase that still feels confusing, do not translate every word separately. Learn the phrase as one unit, including its rhythm. How's it going should sound like one smooth greeting, not 4 separate words spoken with equal stress. Which phrase do you hear most often in American English? Write the number and phrase in the comments, and add one sentence from your own life. If you are practicing for work, tell us which phrase you want to use in your next meeting. Save this lesson and come back tomorrow for a quick review. Start with phrases 1 through 10, then add 5 more each day. With steady practice, everyday American English will begin to sound less like a stream of missing words and more like a conversation you can join. Before you finish, practice the phrases in pairs that naturally belong together. Say, how's it going? And answer, not too bad. Then say, what's up? And answer, I'm good. This creates a tiny conversation instead of a list of isolated vocabulary. Next, connect the planning phrases. Say, do you want to meet after work? Then answer, sounds good. What time? You can continue with, that works for me, I'm on my way, and I'm running late. Workplace English becomes easier when you practice a complete situation. Imagine that a coworker asks whether you can help with a task. Answer, I'm good with that. Can you walk me through it? Then add, I'll keep you posted when I finish. For phone calls, combine the phrases that help you control the conversation politely. You can say, hang on a second, I need to write that down. If you miss the next sentence, say, sorry, I missed that. Could you say that again? For conversations with friends, practice the relaxed expressions. Say, I'm down, no worries, no big deal, and catch you later. These phrases are short, but they carry the friendly rhythm that learners often want to develop. For customer service or stores, practice, I'm all set, I'll pass, thanks, here you go, and have a good one. A customer might ask for help, accept a receipt, decline a bag, and leave with a friendly goodbye. These phrases appear in ordinary moments, which makes them easy to review during your day. For polite disagreement or uncertainty, use a calm combination. Say, I hear you, but I'm not sure that will work. Then add, it depends on the schedule. Let me check. This lets you express a different opinion without sounding aggressive. For mistakes, do not hide or over-explain. Say, my bad, that's on me, I'll figure it out. In a professional setting, replace my bad with I'm sorry about that, but the basic communication pattern stays the same. Accept responsibility, explain the next step, and move forward. Pronunciation also matters. In what's up, the words often connect, so it may sound like what's up. In how's it going, the sentence usually moves smoothly toward going, while sounds good often has clear stress on sounds and good. Do not force an American accent by changing every sound. Start with rhythm, linking, and relaxed pauses. A clear phrase spoken at a natural speed is more useful than a perfect accent that makes you nervous. Here is a 1-minute review you can repeat every morning. Say, "How's it going?" "I'm doing good." "I'm on my way, but I'm running late." Add, "No worries, I'll keep you posted, have a good one." This short sequence covers greetings, progress, delay, reassurance, updates, and goodbye. Here is a second review for work. Say, "Sounds good. Can you walk me through it?" "I'm not sure about the deadline, so let me check." Add, "I hear you. I'll figure it out and keep you posted." Repeat it until the phrases feel connected instead of translated. Here is a third review for social life. Say, "What's up?" "I'm good. I'm down to grab dinner." "Give me a sec while I get ready." Add, "Maybe next time if you are busy." "Catch you later." Change the details so the language stays connected to your real life. The most useful phrase is often the one that solves a small problem. "Give me a sec" buys you time. "I missed that," repairs a listening problem. "That works for me," keeps a plan moving. "I'll pass" lets you say no without sounding harsh. Choose one phrase for the morning, one for work or school, one for a store, one for a phone call, and one for a goodbye. Use each phrase once before the day ends. Real memory grows when a phrase is connected to an actual moment. If you make a mistake while using one of these expressions, keep going. Native speakers also restart sentences, choose a different word, and ask for clarification. Fluency is not the absence of mistakes, it is the ability to stay in the conversation. Listen for the phrases in shows, podcasts, interviews, and conversations around you. When you notice one, repeat it quietly and ask what feeling it carries. The same words can sound warm, impatient, surprised, or joking depending on tone. A final reminder, natural English is not always shorter because Americans are lazy or careless. Short phrases work because both speakers understand the shared situation. The more everyday situations you understand, the easier these expressions become. Now return to the comments and choose your first phrase. Write the phrase, the situation where you will use it, and one sentence that belongs to your life. Your example may help another learner practice the same expression.